Good day, here are the headlines from the Philippine News Agency. We begin in Brunei, Darussalam, where President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has arrived for his two-day state visit. The presidential plane carrying Marcos and First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos landed at the Bandar Seri Begawan International Airport at 10:01 a.m. The president and his delegation were welcomed by the Philippine Embassy officials, led by Ambassador Maria Jocelyn Tirol Ignacio and several ministers from Brunei. In his departure speech, Marcos said he will meet with Sultan Haji Hassan al-Bolkiah to review the progress of bilateral cooperation, explore mutually beneficial partnerships, and deepen the friendship between the Philippines and Brunei. The chief executive will also discuss ways to improve cooperation on defense and regional security with Brunei. Aside from meeting Sultan Bolkiah, Marcos is set to engage the Sultanate's official and business leaders. The president will sign a memorandum of understanding on tourism cooperation as well as deals on sectors such as agriculture, food security, maritime cooperation, and tourism. He will also visit the Filipino community consisting of about 20,000 Filipinos. Marcos is visiting Brunei in time for the 40th anniversary of diplomatic relations between the two countries.
Brunei and the Philippines have enjoyed historically warm relations based on mutual respect and trust and confidence. Brunei has continuously been a reliable partner of the Philippines, and our countries have enjoyed extremely friendly relations since we established relations 40 years ago. Sa aking biyahe patungong Brunei, babaunin ko ang aking tungkulin at pangako na lalo pang palakasin at ang ating pagkakaibigan at pagtutulungan ng ating bansa sa ibang bansa kagaya ng Brunei Darussalam.
Typhoon Aghon continues to move away from the country with all storm wind signals already lifted. Aghon was last struck 455 kilometers east of Apari, Cagayan, with maximum sustained winds of 132 kilometers per hour near the center and gusts of up to 160 kilometers per hour. It slightly accelerated, moving northeast at 20 kilometers per hour and is likely to exit the Philippine area of responsibility on Wednesday. Aghon is unlikely to directly bring significant rainfall in the next 3 days. Possible impacts from severe winds are also unlikely. However, the southwesterly wind flow may bring cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms over western Visayas, Palawan, Occidental Mindoro, Bataan, and Zambales. Metro Manila and the rest of the country will meanwhile experience partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers and thunderstorms. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. has directed government agencies to ensure the delivery of assistance and relief services to residents affected by Typhoon Aghon. In a speech before he left for his state visit to Brunei Darussalam, Marcos said he ordered the Department of Social Welfare and Development, Department of Health, and the Department of Agriculture to continue assisting victims of the typhoon. He also tasked the Department of Public Works and Highways and the Department of Transportation to repair infrastructures damaged by Aghon's onslaught. So far, the DSWD has provided 1.35 million pesos worth of humanitarian assistance, while 607.9 million pesos is on standby. The Bureau of Fire Protection, Armed Forces of the Philippines, and the Philippine Coast Guard have also prepared 841 search and rescue teams. The National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council confirmed today 1 fatality and 1 injured by Aghon, both from northern Mindanao. The agency is also validating reports of 7 injured in Bicol region. Over 12,000 families have been affected by the typhoon, of which over 4,000 are sheltering in 161 evacuation centers. Meanwhile, the typhoon damaged 18 houses in eastern Visayas and wrecked 4 others. The Department of Agriculture assures a stable supply of vegetables despite the impact of Typhoon Aghon. In an interview, DA Assistant Secretary for Operations Nicholas Manalo says the country has sufficient supply of highland vegetables while lowland vegetables face supply challenges as the peak harvest season has ended. He says there are no reported delays yet in the transport of vegetables, so price adjustments should not exceed more than 5 pesos. A strict monitoring is also underway to protect consumers from unscrupulous vendors. The DA is currently assessing the full extent of the typhoon's damage to standing crops. Meanwhile, the National Food Authority announced that it has tripled its rice buffer stock through a new pricing scheme. In an interview, NFA Officer in Charge Administrator Larry Lacson said their warehouses have secured 2.8 million bags of palay by offering higher buying prices ranging from 17 to 23 pesos per kilo for fresh or wet palay and 23 to 30 pesos per kilo for clean and dry palay. Overall, he said the NFA's buffer stock has reached 126,000 metric tons. In terms of milled rice equivalent, more than triple of its previous stocks. Palay procurement is still ongoing to meet the NFA's target of 300,000 metric tons of rice buffer stock. Lacson said earlier supplies were provided to the Department of Social Welfare and Development and Office of the Civil Defense, and there are also ample stocks in the private sector and households. He also stressed the importance of drying facilities for the wet harvest season, as the NFA is currently coordinating with various agencies and organizations to secure these facilities. Workers in the movie and television industry can expect better working conditions. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has signed into law the bill aimed at protecting and ensuring their welfare. The measure, known as the Eddie Garcia Law, was named in honor of the legendary actor who tragically died while filming on set. Under Republic Act 11996, signed by the President on May 24, no agreement or employment contract shall discriminate against the worker with contracts or projects with other production outfits unless exclusivity is specified. It also prohibits any act of preference based on race, color, descent, national or ethnic origin, or religion that undermines the recognition and enjoyment of human rights and fundamental freedoms on an equal footing. As for the wages, the minimum wage for a worker shall not be less than the applicable minimum wage in the region where the worker is hired. Wages must be paid on time as stipulated in the contract and directly to the worker. All workers shall also be covered by and entitled to benefits provided by the Social Security System, the Home Development Mutual Fund or Pag-ibig Fund, and the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation or PhilHealth. The law mandates strict compliance with occupational safety and health standards to ensure the safety of workers. Violators of any section of the law shall be fined of up to 100,000 pesos for the first offense, up to 200,000 pesos for the second offense, and up to 500,000 pesos for the subsequent violations. In case of a corporation, trust, firm, partnership, association, or any other entity commits a violation, the fines shall be imposed on the responsible officers such as the executive producer, production manager, and business unit manager. And that's the latest and the biggest stories on the Pna Headlines. For more news updates, please visit our website, pna.gov.ph, or our Facebook and X account, Philippine News Agency. The Pna Headlines is also streamed via the Servicio Facebook page. You may also watch the Pna Headlines through the Philippine News Agency's YouTube account via the News and Information Bureau website, niv.gov.ph under Pna News, or the Facebook page of the Presidential Communications Office or PCO. I am Stephanie Civiliano, and this is the Pna Headlines, bringing stories to the United Nations.